So just to note again, what they found also was that video game designers did not acquire these learning principles from learning sciences, nor did the learning sciences use video games as a basis for research. Because video games inherently are largely just problem-solving spaces. These companies have developed complex systems that engage participants. The reason why they did this is because if people found these games difficult to learn and unengaging, the companies that would make them would go out of business. So it's perhaps not surprising that game designers have hit on and even innovated many of the learning principles that contemporary research in the learning sciences have argued for, that work and affect human learning. There's now a push for serious games in the classroom, as well as systems that support design thinking that you can also see in a lot of art classrooms. I'm not arguing that video games are necessarily the one way to go. I'm just saying that there's a lot of research out there that suggests that this is one aspect and realm in which we can see the type of play that we defined in the beginning flourishing. So let's review one last time. What we've gone through is the definition of play. We've gone through the places that we see play, who first talks about play, cognitive development in play and what we know play supports, the neuroscience that occurs in terms of critical periods during adolescence, how play supports and taps into that neuroscience development, how play supports and taps into the needs of that critical period of development during adolescence. And now we're talking about how high-tech play is the function. We're talking about how high-tech play is the vehicle that we can use to implement open-ended play within the classroom. So, one of the most important things that I just noted was open-ended play. Open-ended play is extremely important, and this again is found in a lot of the high-tech technologies. Open-ended programs do not ask children to determine a single right answer. Rather, they encourage children to explore and to extend their thinking. Such open-ended software allows children to engage in creative play and conversations. In addition, open-ended software has been found to elicit more cooperative behavior among children than, again, the drill and practice programs. Some of the counter-arguments for this type of play, specifically high-tech play, come around the ideas of games and rules. Some of my peers say, well, games are great, play is great, but don't games need to necessarily have specific end goals to support skills and knowledge development? As noted in the definition used, play needs to be open-ended. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has mini goals it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have mini goals. These mini goals support the development of specific skills and knowledge, typically in cooperation with others. However, it means that you don't necessarily have to have a large overarching end goal. The end goal can be derived after the play has taken place. Therefore, structured play in which you have specific rules and a specific overall end goal actually inhibits innovation and creation. Another counter-argument comes from play within the environment. Play within the environment, like hiking and spending specific time watching nature around you, is important for children's development. As we know, enriched environments are always the best way to support cognitive development and the pruning or increase and strengthening of neurotransmitters. However, in terms of supporting play within the space of a classroom, specific types of play that interact with the environment aren't necessarily feasible. This is because typically in this type of play environment, you need to have facilitators who are trained and understand the roles that they should take when facilitating this type of play and interaction. I just don't think it's feasible for the time that we're in to expect teachers to take on another aspect of training as well as implementation, while they still have these curriculum goals and standards that they must meet. So in conclusion, we must implement play into adolescent school environments. As we know, play is already valued and seen in early childhood education, including kindergarten, first, second, and third grade, and I would actually argue all the way up until fifth grade. However, this sense of importance of play is lost after those grades. But adolescence seems to be the most critical period in which we should be using the power of play. Support the reward system, the feeling of success, and safety within their environment to explore new ideas, to explore social interactions with people, and role play out so that they have emotional understanding and perceptions that they can draw on to make future decisions and goals. Again, this all plays into the neuroscience of reward development as well as executive functioning. And the type of play that we should use in adolescent education, specifically in the classroom, needs to be high-tech play. Play that is open-ended, software that's created for exploration, that doesn't necessarily have a specific overall end goal, but has many goals that are set up to support skill and knowledge development. In going back to our idea of Alice in Wonderland and Willy Wonka, if you look at Alice, she comes out of her situation with a new understanding of her world, as well as past emotional experiences now that she can draw on while she grows up. I want to now look at one last quote to consider the application of the skills and knowledge developed from play during adolescence, the transition of higher education and the workforce within the United States. In the book Mind, Brain, and Education, it states, "The strength of a nation, the very backbone of success in a global economy, depends on a workforce capable of creating and innovation, capable of creativity and innovation. Yet as leaders lament, many students leave schools lacking these essential skills. Educating the citizens of tomorrow will require the redesign of school policies and practices so that students are not merely acquiring information, but are also applying knowledge in novel ways. New research from brain sciences is shedding light on the neural processes involved in creative thinking." In order to support the development of creative neural processes, we must implement play through high-tech technology for adolescents. Thank you very much. I hope you've learned a lot from this. Feel free to email me with any comments, and have a great day. Thanks.